Blackpool Pleasure Beach has almost 130 years of history, and around the park there are lots of nods to the past, but there's also some really weird things that you've probably gone past 100 times and never noticed. So in this video, I'm going to cover loads of them, and make sure you take note, because I want to know if anybody knows every single one of them. Right, if I was to ask you how many coasters there were in Blackpool, I guarantee you would say 10. There's 11. Because right here outside Arena, there's another one. It's definitely the smallest coaster and probably smoother than Infusion. Right, I get having a little bit of pride in your toilets, but still showing awards from 1990 is taking the piss. Right, if you know Blackpool well, you'll know that they've got a seagull problem, especially over here by the food outlets. There are plenty of them. What you might not know is that by the Big Dipper they put a fake bird that was designed to, well, scare away the seagulls. It was, I don't know if it was supposed to be distressed or anything. Anyway, it was meant to get rid of them. Didn't work. There's still plenty of seagulls. I'm curious how many of you know that's there. Right, here's one that I have to confess I didn't know was here. Just at the entrance, so I'm kind of underneath Noah's Ark right now, is Leo the Lion. A bin that, well, it was part of Noah's Ark, and they've kept it. I mean, people don't know how a bin works, but it's still here. I'm sure you all know Alice, right? But did you know, across from Alice, just above the ladies' toilets, there's a Russian sign, or a fake Russian sign. I got Google to translate it and it said Volov Prospect, which when I googled it all I found was Volvo and not Volov. So I'm not sure what it means. I bet you walked past it many times. Right, here's a fun little fact for you. Because Pleasure Beach used to have more than one park, or the family used to own more than one park. These elements here, these are from Southport.
So, we had a ride like the River Caves in Southport, but it was different in that it didn't have a drop. There was obviously a height differential between where you got on the ride and the end of the ride, so the water flowed down. And then at the end we had a little lift, and it wasn't powerful enough to take the weight of people in it. So when we wanted people to get off the ride in order to get the boat back up to the start of the station. We didn't want them to go on the lift, and so we put this over the top of the lift, so it meant that you had to get out the boat. You couldn't stay in the boat. And then when we sold Southport, we didn't throw anything away, and it's moved here and ended up here. And we also have a snake called Nathan, which is named after one of my managers.
Right, many of you will know that Blackpool basically claims to have the first ghost train, right? And it's a good ghost train. But did you know that the skeleton up there, you might not be able to see it from here, he's missing a shoulder. And I kind of know that because I looked on Google Maps and you can see a shoulder on the roof, not connected. So, there's a few other things about this ride. We'll cover them in a minute. Right, Valhalla is an award-winning ride. It has won the Golden Ticket Award for Best Water Ride many times. And as many of you know, it was closed for several years for a massive refurbishment. What some of you might not know though, that cold room that used to actually be a cold room beforehand, there's loads of statues in there. Lots of kind of ice figures. Well, if you take your time and look closely, they're actually modelled on members of staff. But some of them you might recognise actually. On the right hand side, when you go past, there is a woman, kind of an ice statue. It's Tuesday. Some of you will know Tuesday. She used to be in the ice show, and she's regularly in their TikToks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, modelled on the staff. Right, I guarantee you've seen these horses round the side of Derby Racer. They're not actually from Derby Racer though, they're from something else. And I'll tell you later on where they come from. Right, Grand National. This one is a little bit marmite, and some of you love it and some of you not so much. I've had some good rides, I've had some bad rides. However, have you ever noticed when you're on this ride, right in the middle, you can't see it from here, there are some greenhouses. That's because the whole gardening team, that's their base, right in the centre of the Grand National. Right, it's well known that the Pleasure Beach likes to reuse things, which is fantastic. Those two faces that you see above the station, anyone know what ride they were from? Chuck it in the comments and I'll let you know later on. Right, another one for you on Valhalla. Everybody knows this big massive building here. It's the show building. That's what you see when you come up to it. You've got the station, you've got the facade, you've got the skull. But also this blue building right beside it, this second building, is also Valhalla. I mean, it's not just Valhalla, it's other things. It's Stageworks. But there's bits here where, let me see if I can show you this. Yeah, see behind me where that kind of crosses over between the two buildings? That's one of the drops. And you end up in this second show building as well for part of the ride. So yeah, you think it's this big building here. It's actually two buildings. Right, this next one is really obvious, but you may still have walked past it. Underneath Avalanche is one of the old gold mine trains, and it is now just a planter. Right there, just underneath the sheep, there's an old callback to the old ride, an Indiana Jones thing in the wall. Hey, you didn't know that was there? Right, we have no idea what is going on with the dodgems. I mean, they're gone, and we don't know if anything is coming there. But did you know that outside of that there are a couple of handprints, one of which is Robbie Williams? Let me entertain you. Right, the Avalanche. Many of you will know it was opened in the 80s by Eddie the Eagle. But you've probably seen, or maybe you haven't, that sign up there that says the snake. Well, that's because the elements on this, although they may not be replicas of, they're named after actual elements on bobsleigh tracks. So there is the snake. There's one called the Wall, apparently, although I don't think the sign still exists. I did find a leaflet years ago when I did the history series, so it showed them all. But yeah, that's why it says snake up there. It's, apparently that's a real bobsleigh element. Steeplechase, the last of its kind. An old aerodynamics ride that kind of frankly has shown its age. And it's hard now to get all three tracks. The yellow one, for some reason, hardly ever runs. It doesn't look like it's open today. Might be opening later. But this opened in 1977, and it was opened by Red Rum. And what you might not have seen is there's a sign here. There's even a signature. It's a horseshoe. I guess that's TripAdvisor from 1977. Right, I bet many of you have been on the big one, but not necessarily taken in this next one. If you're up there and you look out towards the right, you'll see that 8 of the coasters are actually lined up in a row. So it starts with the big one, and then you've got Infusion, and then you've got Big Dipper, and then you've got Icon, and then you've got Avalanche, and then you've got Revolution, and then you've got Blue Flyer, and then you've got Streak. So no other park that I can think of can claim to have 8 coasters lined up like that. Right, I'm sitting inside Burger King right now, which some of you will remember used to be a ride known as the greatest show on earth. Well, remember those faces that we saw outside the Ghost Train? They used to be outside this ride. Right, there's tons of things on the Pleasure Beach Express, which I'm just about to show you. But the first one, there's a train over there known as the J. Fred Thompson. Remember earlier when we were at Derby Racers and there was those horses round the side, and I said I'll tell you what they're from later. They're from this guy, Steeplechase. They are actually the original horses, and then they just put them beside the Derby Racer, which looks kind of cool and kind of looks like it should be there. It looks like it's spare train. Yeah, they're spare trains. There you go. They're from Steeplechase. Alright, I wonder how many of you have noticed this bit of track here to the side of the Pleasure Beach Express. Any ideas what it's for? I'll tell you in a minute. Many of you will know that the former Grand Prix site is currently just a seating area. I'm sure there will be a new attraction here in a couple of years' time. We've probably got a little bit to wait. However, how many of you knew that there was a little ride in here in Bradley and Bella's learning garden, a little swing for the kids. I mean, I know I like doing kids rides, but I don't think my 44-year-old ass is going to fit on that. Right, many of you will know over the last few years they've been retracking the big one. And you would think with modern technology and computers, they would get it right. Well, they didn't. There's a tiny little bit of track back there. I'll put a little close up. Because it didn't line up. So they had to manufacture a teeny bit of track to fill the gap. Right, here's one for you. And this is going to be hard to show. I'm hoping I can get a POV, like an official one, because I can't film on the ride. But if you go on Icon and you go in round the steeplechase, in fact you probably could see it from the steeplechase station, there's some turtles on the way around the track. They're from the old turtle chase ride that used to be here. Right, in there is the lift hill motor for the Big Dipper. And well, if they ever need to get it out, that bit of track that I just showed earlier on, they put the motor on that track and then they take it out towards the train, and that's how they service it. Right, a couple more on the ghost train. You ever noticed this and wondered why there's a gigantic bite out of it? Well, there used to be a massive bat above that sign who was taking a bite out of it, and he's not there anymore. The last thing I've got for the ghost train, well, it's inside. So I need to take you on the ride. So let's go inside and I'll show you the last ghost train secret that I've got. Right, that organ in there, that used to be in Trauma Towers. I'm pretty sure the die-hard fans will all know this one, but some of the casual visitors to the Pleasure Beach may not be aware of this. If you're on the Pleasure Beach Express and you turn around and look behind yourself, there are signs that say on safari. The reason for that is this train used to go the other direction around the track. Now here's the thing, I've had this explained to me many times and I still don't get it. Apparently when it was going around that way it was causing too much wear on the track, so they turned it around. What I don't get is why they don't have to keep turning it around. Who knows? Remember earlier we said that there was the gold mine cart as a planter? There's another one here for the log flume. I loved that ride. Desperately miss it. And I'd rather have that than Infusion. Here's another one for you. So obviously we had Robbie Williams over by the Dodgems. Vernon Kay opened Infusion. Then left his paw prints. The die-hard fans are going to know this one, but some of you might not. This guy here, Loki's, well, that building used to be used for something completely different, because there used to be a cableway that started here and it ended over here in what is now the toilet block. I'll just have another shot on Icon. Have you ever noticed when you're in that queue, there's a rather inappropriate wall with naked people on it? Yeah. Turns out that was commissioned in 1980 for a shopping centre, and the council thought it was highly inappropriate. So Blackpool got it instead. I have a bonus one. I'm outside the park now, but you can still see the big ones behind me. There's a hotel just opposite the Big Blue that has one of the original Valhalla boats. Wonder how many of you have come along here and noticed that one. Well, there you go. There is a ridiculous number of hidden secrets all around the park, and I'd love to know how many of these you knew. There's a few I only found out doing this research, and if I've missed any, please let me know. As always, if you've enjoyed this one, hit that like button and do subscribe. I've been Chris, you've been watching Coaster Dad, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.